Well, hello again. This is Hiro. What we're working on today is a couple of Canopy Style GINKGO. You know, in Japan, they don't have this style. I haven't seen any at all, at least in the master's work. I think one has to do with the fact that they don't have a whole lot of canopy trees that people could see. Well, there's ginkgo in the city, but they've been chopped down so that people could get through, so it doesn't resemble anything like what it would do in nature. Having said that, though, oh gosh, this was over 50 years ago. I was in Kyoto, and at one of the temples, they had a humongous ginkgo in its natural shape, which was a big canopy. And I distinctly remember that one. There was a older couple, and they said, "Can you take my picture?" Of course. Well, it was quite obvious I was a photographer because I had at least 2 cameras around my neck. But anyway, I distinctly remember that, and I was thinking, I should have taken that picture, but I couldn't find it. But anyway, so that's what I've been inspired by in terms of a ginkgo canopy. Well, like I was saying, they don't really have a whole lot of natural canopy style because of the limited space. But here in California, we have oak trees and all these trees that are very much a canopy, right? Also, I think somewhere in the past, translated wrong. They try to call this the broom style. It's definitely not a broom style. But when somebody mistranslates early on, and it just gets repeated over and over again without really understanding that it was a bad translation. Oh, well. I find quite a few examples like that. You know, on this one here, there's not that much to do except wait. You see these here? These don't belong. This one maybe take off, but this one is in that right spot where I don't mind getting it thicker. This one don't need. You know, so these lower one here, if I could get this to be thicker, that'd be great. So I'm gonna leave those. But in terms of up here, just these kind of like cuttings. And well, what's missing is the ramification, right? So that will come with time if you keep trimming. Oh, this one here probably don't need to be. So like I was saying, if you could make it look like these oak trees that grows around here, that's what a great canopy tree is. This one don't need to be here either. So, okay, we got this one here that seems to be kind of ruining the shape. This is going down, this is going up. There's a branch over here, so I think I'm just going to take this off. And so when you have a bud, you cut it here, it go that way. If I cut it here, it go down this way. Well, I want it to go down, right? So like that. Well, ginkgo has a very large leaf. There's a way to shrink it down a little bit, but not that much. So what we should do is to style the tree to accommodate. Okay, we got the same situation here. It's kind of big and it's kind of going up when I want it to go down. There's, I think, a bud right here. Hopefully that was a bud. If not, we'll have to work something else later. I'm not happy with this situation, but I'm not going to worry too much at this point. I want this one to come out this way, and then this one maybe keep it short. So you can see that there's really not that much things to do. Oh, okay, right here. I'm in, well, let's see. I've got a bulge starting to form here. I better go get the other tool and get this taken care of, because otherwise it's a nice line, but there is a definite bulge starting. That looks better. Maybe just clean it up a little bit. But yeah, definitely that was a bulge starting. And I think right up here too, there's a possibility of a, I wonder if I should take this side off. You know, I was looking at this and it kind of goes up versus this line goes down, and then there's a possibility of bulge starting here. So I want to take this one off, make sure these do not turn into a bulge. There. Okay, I think we have a better line now, right? This one, let's clean up some of these, and well, I guess I'm done with this for this time around. So it seems like somewhere I read there was a kata, or the umbrella shape, but you know, trying to remember everything is getting harder and harder. Oh, this one here is kind of on the big side, but it's in the right plane, so I'll just let it go for now. Well, here's another one of the Canape Style GINKGO. This one here is more of a slant canopy. I think talked some time ago about what we're trying to accomplish when we do bonsai. We're trying to make this relatively young tree. This is probably only about 10 years old, to look as old as possible. And old trees do not have these like sprouts, right? So we keep cutting these. This one here is actually too big for the location, so I'm going to take it off here. Oh well, that's what happens. There you go. So that's what we're trying to do, trying to make it look like and feel like an old tree. I think this needs to be pulled down, right? Well, if I prune this before I pull it down, it changes the plane. So sometimes it was like, oh, I shouldn't have cut that one that way. So I'm going to bring my string and pull this down. And I think kind of do the same thing here. Okay, so I'll go get the string. Well, you know, I've been tying things often, so it's not a big deal. But I notice what some people try to do is they have this, they tie it over here first, and then try to do like that. And what I've been doing is I usually tie it on the trunk. So, well, see, I have the length of string, and then it goes like that, and then when you pull on both sides, it tightens up. Now, if you were using a string like your fishing line, it's not a good idea because eventually you'll bite into your tree and cause the same damage that the wire does. But this is jute, so it only has about a half-year life. So if you forget, usually it falls off, rots off. And sometimes you got to redo it, but it's better than forgetting and doing damage to your tree. See, like that. And then I want to try to do 2 at once. That way it tightens up on itself, right? And so the second one, okay. And what I wanted to do with this one was take this and straighten it out. Ta-da! And this one too. You could see that one string wasn't going to do it. If I tied this over here, I couldn't do it. It just probably snap here, so I'm using 2 per branch. See? It's simple, isn't it? And then these should be cut back. This one here don't need to be going up that way unless do I tie another one? Oh, what the heck. When you have a few that needs string, then you might as well do a bunch. See the bud right here? If I cut here, the new shoot will come this way. If I want to go that way, there's a bud here and but we don't want to go that way. We want to come down this way, right? So I usually try to keep a little bit of dye back just in case. GINKGO is not that critical, but it's a good habit to get into. Okay, now this one here probably don't need to be so tall. I could cut it off here, but there's a bud right here, so I'm going to do that for now. And it might be that we'll cut it off. Up here, there's a bud here, so okay, now we're getting close to the apex area. A lot of things happening. I think going from here and going up seems more interesting than going over here. This is kind of a uninteresting long line, so something like that. And then this one here, we don't want it to compete with that, so I see a bud on this side. If I cut it to here, it continue to go that way, maybe we'll use that bud. Yeah, well, these grow back quickly, so we could do it again next spring. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up with I added a string here. This one not so necessary, but I think it helps to be going that way. This one was, remember, down here, and it really helps to bring this down like that. Well, you know, there's a fine line where you want to pull as far as you can, but then you end up as snapping. So I think this is about where I wanted to be today, safely. But it does make a world of difference because it used to be here and it was kind of running parallel, and I was going back and forth whether to take it off or not. But I think this solves that problem. So anyway, I'm going to call it quits for now. See you again real soon in another chapter. So this is Hiro saying goodbye and thank you for watching.